So you've clicked on this video because you want to know the questions to ask in an informational interview, and I'm going to give you some great questions and some tips. But I'm guessing one of the questions that you're really asking when you're asking about the questions to ask in an informational interview is, how do I turn this meeting into something more? For example, how do I get this person who's sitting in front of me to give me a lead, to offer to pass my resume along, or even better, to think about me when they hear about a job? My name's Karalyn Brown. I'm the co-founder of Career Care Package and the founder of the Straight To Shortlist Challenge. Now, these questions to ask in an informational interview come straight from my Straight To Shortlist Challenge, where my clients have used informational interviews to tap into the hidden job market and find jobs before they get advertised. I've put a link to that in the description below, and I've also put another link for tips on how to nail your informational interview in the description below as well. So back to the questions. Now, there's a particular way to set up and manage this meeting and a particular order to ask questions so the meeting and conversation flows naturally. And then it becomes natural for that person to make an offer to help you. So that's what we're going to cover in this video. So firstly, the elevator going into the meeting or any place where you're walking to that meeting isn't the place for your elevator pitch. If you launch into a long spiel about who you are and what you can do, you'll risk boring the pants off the person that you're meeting. You're actually selling yourself before you know what's relevant to sell. I want to talk to you about how to break the ice, how to get over that awkwardness when you meet somebody for the very first time. So instead of launching into a spiel about yourself, I recommend you say, "Thank you very much for meeting me. I really appreciate your time," and say that sincerely. And a couple of questions you could ask are, what's keeping you most occupied right now? Or what are you enjoying about what you're working on? These are called icebreaker questions because they're really easy questions for the other person to answer. So when you sit down in this meeting, this is what the other person that you're sitting in front of is going to be thinking. Something along these lines. "She seemed nice when she messaged me, but I'm still not sure exactly why I'm here." So it's going to be your job to facilitate the informational interview, and I'm going to give you the exact way to do that. So here's how you set this meeting up so you make it comfortable for the other person. When you're sitting down in front of them, you want to thank them for the meeting. You want to explain simply who you are. You want to explain why their experience interests you. And you want to state that you'd appreciate the opportunity to ask them questions. So for example, if I'm a change manager and I'm new to the Australian market and I've arranged to meet a change manager who's experienced in this market who can give me some great information about the local market. Here's how I would open the meeting to get that person talking. I would say, "Thank you very much for meeting with me. I'm a change manager and I'm new to the Australian market and I'm looking for my first career opportunity here. I saw from your LinkedIn profile that you've worked as a change manager across different sectors, financial and consulting, so I thought you'd be really well positioned to give me some great advice. I was wanting to find out from you more about what you do and what the change management skills are that this market values. Would you mind if I ask you a few questions? I've got a few questions prepared." This structure opens up the meeting, it puts the other person at ease, it sets up the framework for the questions you're about to ask to get information about the market in your informational interview. And the person will think something along these lines once you do your introduction. "Wow, she seems nice and genuinely interested in me. I think I can answer her questions. So she's feeling really comfortable." The questions to ask in the informational interview are all about what you specifically want to know from this person. So information that you could get from them that might help you change your career, that might help you enter a new market, that might help you change sectors, that might help you step up into a new role or achieve a promotion, or that might help you return to a previous role that you've done. So if we go back to our example of the change manager looking to find information about the Australian market to get her first job here, these are the questions she might ask. And they're really designed to get the other person talking. They should be easy for that person to answer because they're coming direct from her experience. So here are the questions. What does a typical day look like for you? What do you enjoy about what you do? What do you find the most challenging about what you do and why? What skills does this market value? What skills do you see as being in demand in the future and why? What are the real personal attributes firms like yours value? Any advice you can give me about looking for a role? Have you heard of anyone hiring? You'll get some fantastic information that you'll be able to use in a future application. your cover letter, your resume, your LinkedIn profile. But one of the main reasons you're asking these questions is to start to build a connection and to build a relationship. Because what's most likely to happen once you've asked these questions about them is they will actually ask this question of you. What are you looking to do? And then you want to tell them only the bits of your background that are relevant for them to understand you, and so it's easy for them to help you. And this is how the change manager might answer that question. It sounds like we enjoy the same things about change management. I've had 10 years experience in consulting and large enterprises, working on a range of projects from cultural change to IT related projects. So I'm looking to find a similar role. So now the person that you've met has some information about you and they know how to help you. And it's most likely that they'll start to ask more questions about you and your experience. And then they may offer to help you. They might offer to pass your CV along. They might recommend you for a job. They might suggest that you contact somebody else. They might keep their eye out for you for jobs within their firm. So I hope you found this video on informational interview questions to be insanely useful. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up. If you like what you see and you want to hear more of us, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.